Hi everyone, my name is Miss Fillion. I am one of the counselors at Sprague High School. Today we are going to talk about forecasting for the 2021-22 school year. If you were unable to attend the Zoom call that happened on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to go over a lot of that same information so that you guys can hopefully get whatever questions you might have answered. So to start off today's presentation, I want to talk about graduation requirements. You'll see that there's two different diploma requirements listed here. We'll start with a regular high school diploma. So in order to get a regular diploma, you need 24 total credits to graduate. You need 4 credits of English, 3 credits of math, algebra 1 and above, 3 credits of science, 3 credits of social science, 1 credit of health, which is going to be wellness 1 and 2, which students take their freshman and sophomore year typically. 1 credit of PE, 3 credits of fine arts, fine and applied arts, and that could include a second language, a CTE course, and that could also include any art class that you might take, and then 6 elective credits. So if you want to get the honors diploma, you're going to want to make sure when you're forecasting, you're looking at the specific requirements to the honors diplomas as they are slightly different so that you can make sure you forecast accordingly. So you'll see that you need 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, algebra 1 and above, 4 credits of science, 4 credits of social science. And that's where there's some slight difference there because you need 4 credits of math, science, and social science, whereas a regular diploma, you only need 3 in those areas. You need the 1 credit of health for the honors diploma, 1 credit of PE, 2 credits of a world language, and it needs to be in the same language. So like 2 years of 2 credits of Spanish. You can't have like 1 credit of Spanish, 1 credit of ASL. 1 credit of fine and applied arts, 3 credits of electives, and then 4 credit AP or dual credit minimum. You have to have a 3.5 GPA minimum. And then again, that's at 24 credits total. So if you want to try and get the honors diploma, please again refer to this list. The requirements for both regular and honors diploma are listed in our course catalog or course bulletin, and they are also listed under student view, at least to see what the regular diploma requirements are. And I will cover that in a bit here, how to access again what the requirements are if you missed them or were not able to write them down. So if you're hoping to attend a 4-year college or university, there are some things that you should know. 1, you must pass core and world language classes with a C or better. If you get Ds, it's important that you check in with your counselor to see how you can possibly make up, either retake that class or raise your grade in that class so you can get at least a C or better. Colleges and universities are wanting to see Cs and better in core classes and world language classes. Also, it's important that you take 2 years of a world language if you are hoping to go to a 4-year university or college. SAT and ACT scores are typically required upon admissions as well, so you'll want to make sure that you're registered for your SAT or ACT. Different colleges and universities have different requirements as far as which tests they require, if they require the test, so you'll want to look into the college specifically to find out what their requirements are. Cumulative GPA requirements. So for different colleges and universities, there are different GPA requirements in order to apply. I would encourage you highly to go to the school's website, go to their admissions page and look at what exactly those requirements are so you know specifically kind of what to shoot for when you're looking at grades and what classes to take. Math beyond Algebra 2 is highly recommended. And then again, as I mentioned before, check with the individual college or universities because there are specific requirements to each college and university that you're going to want to make sure you are well versed on what they're looking for. If you are planning to be eligible for OSAA sports or activities, there are some things that you should know. For 1, in order to be eligible, you need to make sure you are passing your classes. So if you're planning on playing a fall sport in the 2021-22 school year, you must pass at least 3 of your 4 classes for quarter 4 of this current year. And then if you're planning on playing a winter or spring sport next year, you're going to be looking at passing 5 of 8 classes if we were on like a regular semester schedule where you're taking 8 classes at a time. So in order to be eligible, you need to pass these minimum credit requirements the quarter or semester prior to and then during the sport or activity that you are participating in. You must be on track to graduate within 4 years. So if you're failing too many classes, that may put your graduation, you being on track to graduate might be delayed a bit. And so it's important that you are on track to graduate within 4 years in order to be eligible. You must have good attendance, so you're coming to school consistently and regularly. And again, we encourage students to check with your coach or advisor, as they might have additional requirements just per their team rules that make you eligible or not eligible to play. And then your junior and senior year, if you are planning on pursuing a sport after high school, there might be specific requirements again for schools, but we would want to get you registered with NCAA and NAIA to make sure that you are eligible to play post high school. So CTEC stands for Career Technical Education Center. This is an awesome program that we have functioning within the Salem-Keizer School District. CTEC is actually a separate school. So students who apply and are accepted into CTEC take classes at Sprague a couple days a week, and then a couple days a week go over to CTEC, which go over to their Career Tech Center, and are taking classes over there. And again, this is assuming we will be back in a regular school year, hopefully next year, and we will be present for classes. So CTEC is for sophomores and juniors and seniors only. So sophomores and juniors who are currently interested and ready can apply now on the CTEC website. So if you are a sophomore or junior right now who knows you want to be in the program, apply now, as those spots do fill up quickly. So listed here on the screen are the different CTEC programs that are available through the Career Technical Education Center. So if any of those look interesting, please apply. If you're wanting more information, you can access the CTEC webpage at the site listed here. You can also go to the Sprague Counseling website and locate CTEC information there, or you can go to CTEC's main website page by Googling CTEC Salem-Keizer School District, and it should take you right to their main page. If you're not necessarily interested in actually going over to CTEC to take classes, or if none of those programs seemed interesting to you, we do have some in-house CTE programs that are operating at Sprague. We have automotive tech, education and teaching, engineering and CAD, which is computer aided design, environmental sciences, marketing and business, and then physical therapy and sports medicine. So in our registration bulletin, there is a bunch of information on these CTE programs, but if any of them do sound interesting to you, again, I would encourage you to look into possibly forecasting for some of these classes, as there are some prerequisites. And then by the time you get to your senior year, you're going to want to be accessing those higher level courses in whatever CTEC program it is that you're interested in. There's a lot of information, again, on our Sprague website about our CTE programs at Sprague, and in the course bulletin. We also have a really cool video that was created to kind of highlight and showcase the CTE programs at Sprague, and you can find the video at the link listed here, or you can locate the video on our website. So as far as grad requirements and knowing what you need to take next year, you can access your course history through Student View. So if you go to Student View, log in, on the left side, you'll see where it says course history. You're going to want to click on that. Then there'll be a portion where it says graduation status bar, which is this little thing right here. You're going to want to make sure that's clicked as on. Once that's clicked on, you'll be able to see, this is a bar graph that will show you like what's required and how close you are to completing that particular category of required courses. And you can also look at it in a different format. So if you scroll down further, you can see what credits are required for each subject. So kind of like what we were looking at earlier, this will break down on Student View what's required in the subject, what has already been completed, what is in progress, so what you're currently taking at that time, and then what is remaining. So if, sometimes students will look at this and they'll see, oh my goodness, I haven't taken any social studies classes. And so then they might go in and forecast for social studies classes because they see that they might be behind. So this is a good reference. If you're ever wondering what your credits are, what you still need to complete, you can also ask your counselor, or you can look at it on Student View, but you're definitely going to want to refer to that throughout your time in high school to make sure you're on track to graduate within 4 years. So how can I find out more about classes that I can take? So again, the 2021-22 registration bulletin is now available for students. There's a link here, and you can also find it on our counseling webpage, on our Sprague High School main webpage. I will show you exactly where to find that after I'm done with this presentation, but the bulletin is where you will find everything that you need. You'll be able to find course descriptions, the type of credit that you get from taking the class, if you can take the class more than once, because some classes you definitely do not want to repeat, and then what prerequisites you need to take to actually be in that class. So again, the registration bulletin is an awesome document where you can find out all of this information. So if you have questions about placement, you're going to want to refer to our generic elective forecasting kind of sheet that will help you figure out what classes to take next year. This year, our electives were a little bit different. And as you guys know, we were taking classes, grade level courses in most of our elective classes. And so if you're wondering, for example, if you took 1/4 of Auto Tech 9 and then you're wondering, well, what am I eligible to take next year? You're going to want to refer to this document for that type of information, because you'll see that like if you took 1/4 of Auto Tech 9, then you could either take Auto Tech 1 or 2 or both. So that's where you're going to also want to look at this document as well. If you're wondering, what am I eligible to take? What's the next class that I should take in this particular elective area as we transition back to away from the course, as when we transition back from grade level electives to our actual traditional electives that we were offering at Sprague. So required courses. So all freshmen should be taking an English, math, science, social sciences, wellness 1, and then personal fitness. That's required for freshmen. So the forecasting, you definitely want to make sure you forecast for those classes in those areas. Sophomores, English, math, science, social sciences, wellness 2. Juniors, English, math, science, social sciences, and then you'll see there's other classes that you're going to want to forecast for, but those are your elective related classes. And then by the time you're a senior, if you passed all of those classes, the only required core class that you would be able to that you would have to take would be English. But if you did perhaps fail classes in any of those other areas, when you're a senior, you're going to want to make sure that you're catching up on any credits that you may have missed. So it's possible that you may want to take a social sciences class, or you may want to take a regular science class or math class your senior year. Seniors must take 5 classes per semester in order to be eligible for sports or activities. And then again, there are different honors diploma requirements as a senior that you would be taking classes that you wouldn't traditionally take if you were getting a regular diploma. So please, again, refer to the honors diploma requirements. Next year, we will have embedded honors courses. So when you're forecasting, you're going to forecast for the regular class. So let's just say you want to take physical and chemical systems honors level, forecast for regular physical and chemical systems. And then at the beginning of the next year, you will be able to opt into the honors section of that class. And so your teachers will work with you at the beginning of next year to find out who wants to do honors, who wants to do the regular course. And again, most honors classes will be embedded. However, math honors classes will most likely be separated next year. But for the other honors classes, we're going to still be doing that same embedded system. So this year, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be using a Google form to forecast rather than an actual hard copy paper for forecasting. So the Google form should be available to you now on the Sprague High School website under counseling, and then you go to your specific year. That's where you'll find the Google form that you need to submit. You will want to make sure that you are submitting the correct form. So like if you're a junior, you don't want to be submitting the freshman forecasting form. You're going to need to be logged in to your Salem Kaiser email when you fill out this form. And so unfortunately, parents cannot fill out the forecasting form. Students will need to be logged in under their email address, filling out the forms as themselves. Make sure you click on the correct Google survey. And again, this form can be found on our website, which I will show you how to access in a bit. So the Google form is due Friday, February 12th. We are asking that all forms are submitted and completed at that time. If you need a couple days to look over the course bulletin, kind of think about what classes you might want to take, you can definitely do that, but we do need the form by February 12th. If you have questions, you can email your counselor, call your counselor, or you can fill out on the Google form. There will be a portion listed at the very bottom that says, is there anything else you would like your counselor to know about your class request or plans for the next school year? So this is where you can type in notes to your counselors or questions if you have them. So thank you guys for your time and going over kind of this general forecasting information. Please submit your form on time. If you do not get your form submitted this year, what happens is sometimes counselors end up having to choose classes for students, and we definitely want to make sure you guys are getting the classes that you want, not the classes that we pick for you. So it's really important that you get the form in. Otherwise, it's possible we'll end up picking classes that you don't even want at all. So if you are at any time confused, again, you can reach out to your counselor. Now, briefly, I just want to show you how to access the Sprague High School counseling page. So if you go to spraguehs.com, you'll be taken to the main page here. If you click on counseling over here on the left side, it's going to take us to the counseling webpage. Up on the top, you will see a link for Forecasting 2021. So if we click on that link, we'll get access to the course catalog, the generic elective info sheet, which you can, click on these links to get there, CTE programs, and then the CTE video. If you're looking for the forecasting Google form and you are, let's say, a freshman, you're going to want to click there on freshman, and it's going to take you to the freshman page. Here on the left side is the form that you will need to be fill out. And so at this time, it says it's not currently requesting responses, but once it opens up, this is how you can access the form. So it's super important to make sure that you're clicking on the correct links and you know how to access this information. I do want to show you guys what an actual forecasting form may look like. So I'm just going to walk you through. Once you do get into the Google form, this is an example of a freshman forecasting form. But when you do eventually pull up the form, it's going to have some general information up here at the top. Then we're going to jump down to the grad requirements, as we discussed before, regular diploma requirements, honors diploma requirements. You're going to fill out general demographic information. And then once we keep scrolling, we're going to get into selecting our actual classes. So we start by having students select their core classes. So freshmen will be taking English 10 next year. And so that one's going to automatically be populated for you right here. And you're going to want to click English 10. Then we're going to jump down to math, and it's going to list the options for math that are available at Sprague. It is important that you are not repeating core classes that you have already taken in past. And then it's also important that you make sure you're not applying for a class that you're not actually eligible to take. So we wouldn't want you in an AP calculus class if you haven't taken the prerequisites, for example. So again, please refer to the course catalog for information on what classes you should be taking. Social science options and then science options. So again, you'll see sophomores are taking biological systems, and so you'll click that as that's the option for sophomores to take for their science class. Then we're going to jump down to the additional required and elective classes. So this is when you'll be able to pick your electives, and we're asking that students choose 10 total courses from this page. So if you are a sophomore, for example, you're going to want to make sure you're clicking Wellness 2, because you want to be in Wellness 2 to get that requirement taken care of. That will count as one of your 10 choices. So you're going to want to pick 10. Then you're going to jump down here to the bottom once you've chosen your 10, and you're going to list your top 3 choices. And this is very important because if some of these classes fill up, we're going to want to make sure we try and get you in at least one of your top 3 choices. Then we'll jump down to the final portion here where it asks you a few more questions. And then here you will see the option to type in a question for your counselor, or if there's anything specific you would like us to know. So that kind of wraps up our information on forecasting this year. If there's any information that is still confusing to you, you're not sure how to access the bulletin or how to even access the form, please reach out to your counselor. Let us know. Again, you can call us or email us. You can find our contact information on the Sprague website, which if I can get to it here under counseling, and then you can click on staff down here, and then you can get our contact information if you would like to reach out to a counselor. So thank you guys so much for your time today. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.